Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Seth and Beth podcast. My name is Beth.
My name is Seth.
Beth really loves for us to do that.
I just love it.
So we're doing that. We are super duper stoked today. We are here on the grounds of the wonderful Gervasi Vineyard. This is Canton or North Canton, ladies?
Canton.
This is Kendall and Stacy. They are the amazing people. The wedding. What are your exact titles, gals? Stacy, go. They looked at each other. They froze.
Honey,
I recently just accepted the job of event services manager for the private events.
And Kendall, what's your title here?
I am an event coordinator.
Beth, what were you going to tell me?
it's too late.
Must have been important. We are, like I said, we are at Gervasi Vineyard. Now, Beth, this is one of the first places we called because this place is absolutely insane and incredible.
Oh my
and
gosh, so good.
And just a gem in Ohio.
Yes.
And we wanted to come here to not only see you gals again, but really transfer the ideas of what this place is about from, exactly from the folks that work here to potential clients in this world, why this place is incredible. So first and foremost, gals, tell me a little bit about you, what position, not so much your title, but what position you gals have, how long have you been here, and tell me that. Stacy, go first again.
Okay. I am starting my 7th season here at Gervasi Vineyard. I started here as an intern summer of 2012. Graduated in December and stayed on to banquet, serve, and bartend throughout that time. The following season, when we opened up, I did banquet captain. Then a coordinating position became available, and I coordinated from that time until about a week ago. And I recently accepted the event services manager.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What does that job entail? Tell us.
It is more focused on the service side of events and execution, making sure the kitchen is prepared and ready and following the timeline that the coordinator has already predetermined with the guest, and just making sure the staff is providing the excellent service that we're known for.
Wow.
And Kendall, what about you? What do you do exactly here?
Well, I have kind of a parallel story. I started as a banquet server 7 years ago, and I bartended weddings and events. And then after she left the banquet captain position, I took that over. And then same thing, the following year, there was a coordinating position open. And so I, took a shot and applied for that. And
So I feel like with all of your guys' knowledge, like being here and working in so many different roles, that you guys are, how important every single aspect is, how everybody's job is so important to make sure that a wedding day goes perfectly and flawlessly.
Absolutely. And I think when coordinating, it's much easier to kind of know how it's actually going to go day of when you've been in that position and in those shoes. And, when you're in charge of serving and executing the event, whether it's a server or, a banquet captain closing the events, it just helps you really see the whole picture.
Totally.
And be able to plan ahead for things that could go wrong, because there's always going to be hiccups, but we try and just have a plan B.
Oh, I see. Even with your knowledge, you can foresee problems happening based on your experience to make sure we're not doing that again. I've seen this happen.
So I want to get into the history of this place. Obviously, it's completely insane. I think if you just drive by if you drive by here in Canton, past the road, you might not ever know it's back here. And I probably did a few times in my younger years. But before I get into that, let's just cut right to it. What would you gals say? You've been here a long time. What is the absolute best thing that clients can know about Gervasi that makes this place so awesome? Why would their wedding be so incredible here?
Go for it. Okay. Well, my favorite part is that it's a one-stop shop. From the time you arrive on property, whether you're checking into your luxury overnight accommodations or you're having a rehearsal dinner, you could have bachelorette and bachelor parties. And we have so many different venues and opportunities here, even if it's just taking your kids to play bocce ball while you're waiting for the ceremony. There is something for everyone. And you can rent our 2 bikes and go on the Stark Park trails right next to us. I mean, there is just endless possibilities. You can do free winery tours while, on your first check-in day, it's 12, 1, and 2. And then
on Saturdays.
Yeah. And
distillery tours are on Sundays.
So you can learn if that's your thing.
I want to do all of that.
Yeah. And then we have shopping.
Amazing. Shopping.
The marketplace.
Awesome jewelry.
Yeah.
Cute.
It's like there's a whole world back here.
I
It's
know.
kind of like a Disneyland for wine folks and weddings.
It really truly is.
You turn off that road and you see the grape fields with, the vineyards, which are not normal in Ohio. Beth and I always say this feels like a California venue. Like the way the buildings are set up.
Seth, I can't believe you just said that.
Tell it to me.
So our first wedding ever shot here. So I'm from Canton. I went to Canton Central Catholic.
Just down the road.
This is where I'm from. I had no idea this place was here. So everyone kept saying oh my gosh, you're going to be so excited for this Gervasi wedding. And I was like, oh yeah, all right. No, and Seth and I have had, we're blessed that we photographed some incredible spots. So when we pulled up here, I looked at him, I was like, are we in Napa? How am I in Canton, Ohio right now? There were these puffy blue skies and these beautiful birds. There was a swan walking around. And I was like, what is happening right now? It is so, in the whole day, I just felt like I had goosebumps. Literally, I could not think of anything bad in my life. Everybody has something bad going
escape.
on. It really is. Since even since we pulled up here, all I can think about is happiness. It's just sort of like Disney.
That's absolutely true.
It's just like Disney, you know?
Place where dreams come true.
Adult dreams.
We make these podcasts. I typically think we make these podcasts for local clients, but I'm sure you guys get people coming from our first wedding we did. It was destination for the whole family.
They wanted to go. They wanted to have a Napa wedding.
How often
they were
do you
from
guys
Michigan.
see that? How often do you guys see that where people are coming in from all over the nation?
All of the time,
I
I
would
feel.
say more often than not, people are coming from all over because they hear about us from a friend or some sort of marketing material, and they come and they fall in love. And I feel like a lot of people, they pick their venues for their weddings based on something that makes them happy and something that they want their marriage to represent. It's just happiness. And like you said, there's swans, which Gina and Giuseppe, those are their names. And people love to get pictures over by the lake. And it's just the perfect scenery. I always say it's a hidden gem. You don't think to find something
Absolutely.
so classy in Canton, Ohio, because it's
the feeling you get when you come here is.
What's your experience, Beth?
so unique.
We've done so many over by the lake, outside, whether it's over at the patio or by the lake. And again, for our other YouTube watchers, we'll put up pictures of what Beth and I have done here. Some of our photographs have been nationally recognized in magazines.
Right.
So spectacular. But how does it feel in the evening by that? What do you call that little brick? It's like a brick sort of.
The arch.
The arch, of course. It's like a brick archy thing.
I just get
Stone
this
arch.
total feeling of romance. That's how I feel. I kind of just want to make out with you or something.
with
I
me
don't
in the
know. I feel everything. The villas are so cute. And when I photograph here, I just feel so happy for the families.
Absolutely.
And the bride and the groom, because it really is so powerful. You get this feeling of you really are having a fairy tale wedding right now.
I don't think a lot of
You
the
know?
families are ready for this place when you pull in.
Yeah.
Because it just has this, Ohio is not have the same, California and Ohio are different with the landscape, but this place is just absolutely incredible. So gals, tell me, as planners, you've been through a zillion weddings. What are the best parts about the weddings that happen here?
Well, I love to see day of, to work with these people, build relationships, get to know them and what they would want for their big day. You spend from October to say August with these people, 9 months, just learning all about their families and what they expect. And then day of, seeing that all come together is
I bet that's
amazing.
so exciting.
It's so rewarding.
You just get so excited for them. Look, this is what you wanted. Look,
Yes.
guys.
Absolutely. And I just think it's so fun. They're excited. It's the biggest day of their lives.
Right.
And we get to be a part of that.
Stacey, what about you? What do you feel during these weddings?
In addition to that, the day of is part of my favorite, when the bride walks into the pavilion for the first time that day and it's completely set up, linen, centerpieces, guest book table, all of it. And just to see her face is one of the most rewarding things that I could ever do. And it's something I never thought of before I took this position. And now being in this position, I see making people's dreams come true is something that I enjoy and something I will continue to enjoy throughout my life.
I love it. We have those lasting connections as well with our couples.
Yeah.
And so I guess it kind of sounds like us as we kind of go through their journey with them as well. You get them a few months early. You learn what's important to them. And on their wedding day, it's so people ask us all the time, what's it like working with your spouse? And it's gosh, we get to dump our kids off at grandma and grandpa's, and spend a day together. And it's like this loving, amazing environment that is always incredible, and especially here. Now, the one thing I think you guys are really great at is because like almost 3 out of 4 out of 5, a lot of the weddings we've done here have been in the rain, and they've still gone flawlessly.
Oh, that's what so today is kind of like a misty, rainy day, and I was telling Seth, I was like, oh, this reminds me of Corinne and Mike's wedding. Like, it was cold, and there was horizontal rain. It didn't even matter. Well, first of all, it doesn't even matter. There's so many amazing spots here where you could still get the best photos ever. Like, I think one of the photos from their wedding, it received so much attention because it was so unique, because there's so many places where you can still get unique photos. In the accommodations that you guys provide on a rainy day, it didn't even matter. It didn't matter that it was raining. It was still like such a perfect, magical day.
All of our couples do jump out in the rain anyway, but the fact that you guys can like transition and get into the pavilion and get things going, like what are some of the amenities that people might not know about? Like, I don't even think we've even hit the idea of like staying in the villas, the multiple different, tell us about that. So tell us some of the like amazing amenities that are different if you got married, that are very different from other venues. Like, what are some of those, Kendall?
We have 2 main wedding venues on property. One is the Balleria. It holds up to 120, and it's indoor. And you have the ceremony option of the veranda, which is outdoor. It's uncovered. It's right there. And so our backup plan for that is we have the white garden chairs set up on the veranda. Whether it's raining all morning or it's not, they're ready to go so that if we need to, we can dry off all of the chairs and get your guests out there. If we're not able to do that, then we can flip the space even if you have a small enough guest count. If it's under 50, which does happen quite a bit, it's a smaller group, but it's more intimate. And we can set all of the dining tables in a portion of the Balleria. We can have a floating wall that comes across, and you have the other portion of the Balleria for your ceremony. So you still get that traditional setup, and then all the tables are ready to go, so we can flip it during cocktail hour like that.
In the pavilion, like, tell me the numbers over there, like how many people it holds, and tell me all about that place. That's the only place Beth and I have photographed, and we always love it over there.
The pavilion holds a maximum of 300 guests. And with that, we have a couple different locations for the ceremony. Some people choose to do it under the pavilion in the alcove facing towards the lake as their backdrop, and that's usually the go-to for a pavilion ceremony. There is our pavilion lawn, which is located right behind it. We can do 300 guests at that location as well, and then we also have our tree grove ceremony. And with that, if it is raining, we have the location set up. So the pavilion lawn would be set up with the white garden chairs, the pavilion set up for the reception. If it's raining in the morning, we have the chairs set up and ready to go in both locations. So about a half hour before guest arrival, we ask the bride and groom to make the call of where do you think you want this to go. And from there, we will either wipe off the chairs or make sure the pavilion is set and ready, and we don't have to worry about the site.
That's amazing you guys can flip that quick. I know other venues, you have to choose almost the day before, I've heard sometimes.
Or even like 3 days before. Yeah.
Well, in the pavilion, it takes us, 10, 15 minutes? I mean, we are quick. We've had a lot of years to practice, and we are all like standing by, ready. As soon as we hear that clapping, we're like, go.
So you talk about all these things, and then I go back to, like, my mind just starts filling it with images.
Yeah.
And I just see, like, Beth, I know you're gonna know what I'm talking about, but like I just see like a grandma and grandpa, like during cocktail hour, holding a wine glass and then holding hands and just strolling past the lake with like the summer sun hitting them. Like, you can't get that. You can't always get that in other venues. It just
don't forget the swan in the background.
That's right. That's right. The swan. People love the swan.
And the arch.
Yeah.
And the arch. Thank you. But yeah, no, that's the vision that comes into my mind. I mean, so what I'm saying, folks, is like when you have your wedding at the pavilion, typically cocktail hours out like sort of in the grassy area.
Yeah.
So your folks just kind of spill out in this beautiful grass near the lake, and we have photos, and it's just
Everyone smiles. Everyone
It's
is
hard not
having.
to.
I know. Everyone's just like, oh my gosh, this is what I needed today. I needed to be here in this beautiful environment and escape what's happening in my life. Like, it's just so powerful.
It is an
like
escape.
that.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And then once the evening sets in, this place transforms into this beautiful lit with the warm light and the chandeliers. It's just incredible. So tell us about how often do folks have their whole families stay here, like take over the whole place and stay for a weekend? Does that happen often?
Well, our overnight accommodations are popular. And so that also means that there is limited availability. So you need to get in as soon as you can. And you can book your wedding around what's available for overnight accommodation. So if you know that that's something that you need, then book in advance so that everyone can stay. We just added 24 rooms at the Casa. So we have...
Is that the boutique hotel?
Yes. So we have 24 rooms total now. It opens May 1st, so it'll be open when this airs. But it's gorgeous, and you can each have your own private room, or if you're staying in the villas, there's 4 rooms in each villa with a common area. So, if you want to see your aunts and uncles but not sleep right next to them, you can still do that. And I think that's awesome. You can, there's a shared patio behind each villa, and then there's a lake and a fountain behind the Casa. So each venue has its own beautiful views.
I can't wait to check out the boutique hotel.
I think another point to hit with staying here on property and getting ready. We do a 2-night minimum from May to October, which helps with the wedding guest, and it gives them the time to get in the villa the day before, get situated, get settled, and then if they have the entire villa rented, a lot of the girls like to bring in hair and makeup people, and they come here and get it done in the villas.
Getting ready photos are gorgeous.
It's not your typical salon photos where you see everywhere. It has the villas. You can get the wedding dress in, hanging in the background as the bride's getting her makeup done, and it's just little things like that to me make the difference.
Stacey, what I remember about Mara's wedding, Mara was one of 3 sisters, and so they had the whole villa, and so there was a bunch of bridesmaids, but her and her sisters were able just to go upstairs and have some quiet time together before she got in her dress. And that moment is something. I have 3 sisters myself, so I just kept thinking about myself and her shoes and what a special moment that was for them and how they needed that. They needed to have their own special time alone, and being in the villa allowed them to have that. And I'll never forget some of those photos that we took there. I mean, and I know they won't either.
We'll put them up, yeah.
Yeah, it's so special.
Yeah, as wedding photographers, there couldn't be a better place to photograph at. It's sort of like this kingdom with so many different layers and so many different places to go. The getting ready in the villas is amazing, with the different rooms where you can sort of seclude yourself if you want, and then all come together. That's incredible. And like I said, just the feel, it's like I haven't been to Italy, but if I can imagine it, it kind of looks like this, the way and so these separate villas.
Well, honey, we've been to Napa, and you love Gervasi more than Napa.
Well, I don't like Napa. Yeah, I don't like Napa
he's
as much as
he's like, I'd rather go to Gervasi every day than Napa. Boring.
But yeah, you're right. I do love Gervasi. Well, the food's better, I think. So, anyway, so now you got me. Now I'm stumped. You got me. But yeah, but no, I just can't. I can't say it enough. We're super stoked to be here and to continue photographing weddings here. We have some amazing images from here, and the vineyards. When do the vineyards come in? I don't know anything about these grapes, but they're incredible when the fields are
they have
popping.
little buds on them now, I feel.
It won't be till late May, early June that they really start to be beautiful.
Fuller and fuller.
Yes.
As the season goes
on. Is it me, or that it's a vineyard and there's grapes on them, but it does take you by surprise when you really...
Yeah, you're like, wait, you really do have grapes growing.
Real grapes on there.
When we make wine out of the grapes that we're growing.
What? That's exactly it, Beth. You're right. Yeah. It's called a vineyard, and you're like, wait a minute, those are real grapes.
Those are real grapes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And I feel like in Ohio, you don't think about a vineyard located in Ohio that you would be able to use the grapes from the vineyard to have your own family reserve line.
Yeah.
Well, and if you do think of a vineyard in Ohio, you think maybe there's a pot with some, I don't know. I think of a very miniature version. Yeah. But there are just rows and rows.
Like grandpa's backyard.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
My Uncle Jim.
Yeah. Exactly.
So again, you gals must be, how would I say this? I'm not shocked to hear you guys have been here for 7 years. You sound very passionate about your jobs. Absolutely. And you've portrayed that to us in our communications before this and even before we started the podcast.
And your dedication. You guys have been here a long time. You are dedicated. You guys are awesome.
And I'm sure you've been to other weddings around Ohio and other places. So what, again, I hate to say a take-home message, but if I was a bride, so again, it's funny as you mentioned Mara, is she hardly even, I don't think she actually was, so many different ways people can get to this place from all over the country. I keep thinking this is really a destination for a lot of folks. So what really set with, at the end of the day, what do you absolutely love about this place where you think Gervasi? What do you guys think when you think Gervasi weddings?
I think just welcoming, amazing staff. As soon as you pull onto property, You are greeted with a smile. You are greeted with a welcome. Our staff goes above and beyond.
That's true.
At every step. And, we really try to make your stay special because a lot of the people visiting here are celebrating something. They are going to remember this. They chose to spend their special day with us. And we appreciate that. And we really, really, really want to show that we want you to be here and we want you to have a good time. We want you to remember your experience, not just that you got married there. We want you to remember that you were crying and we got you a tissue. It's the simple things. It's raining and your hair was going to get frizzy and we held the umbrella for you all the way down the aisle and then we ran away so you could get that one photo right before the frizz hits. Like, we will do everything
covered in
that we
mud,
can.
and I'm on my hands and knees getting with the polishing cloth and the club soda and getting the mud out so you don't see it in the photos.
Or picking out, like the little fruit flies out of a tulle dress.
It's a real
because
thing.
she was off taking pictures. Who knows where? They're probably gorgeous, but that tulle net is like a
bug catcher.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we will do all that we can to help you out, make sure that you are happy and excited and ready and calm. I think that's really important too, that you show that you know what you're doing and that you've seen crazy things happen before, but we have a solution for a lot of those issues. And if we don't, we can think of it.
Yeah.
We're not worried.
Right.
We'll get it taken care of.
Work together as a team. So when there is something that you can't see the door for, I go to Kendall and say, I have this, this, and this. I don't know what to do. What do you think? And we are able to collaborate and make sure that they do get the day that they envisioned.
Well, and I think that we're each other's yin and yang. Like, she focuses on certain things, I focus on certain things. So she's like, well, we got to do it this way because this, and this. I'm like, well, but what happens to her hair if she walks through that? Or what happens to this? So
Good
we
point.
play
Good
devil's
point.
advocate already. Or like, we even role play. Like, when we're trying to figure out a solution, I'll play the bride, she'll play,
I would like to see
Good cop,
that.
bad cop.
Yeah, just so that we can
Yes.
figure out. Because what are they going to want? Does she want that? And I really try to envision myself in their shoes and try to advocate for all of the things they want. And there's things that we can't do every time, but we try to make a good compromise that's going to go well. That's our goal at the end of the day. We want it to be successful. We want you to be perfectly happy with your result and your product that we're providing you. And so I think that's important.
Kendall said she was really nervous before this. You might as well just be the host. Welcome to the
Yeah.
Seth and Beth podcast with Kendall.
No way.
There you go.
Kendall
I'm
and
just
Stacey.
overly chatty, especially if I'm nervous. I just keep saying stuff because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything. Let me just say 25 things when they ask for 2.
Well,
Provide it all.
Yeah.
when I see this passion, it's nice to see both of you so passionate about this job. I think in America alone, there's a lot of people who really dislike their jobs.
It's just a job.
It's really hard to
It's not like that for you guys.
No.
I couldn't do this job if I didn't feel passionately about it. I think in order to care and to truly want them to have their day, you do need to care. And I always try and put myself in their shoes. If this was my wedding day, would I be okay with this answer? If not, let's figure out a way that we can still make this work within reason.
Mm-hmm.
Are you hearing this?
That's the actual definition of empathy, right?
I guess. Well, don't give me. Listen, I'm not Webster.
Right. I think that is. I think that is empathy.
Yeah, I
that's-
guess you're right.
That's
I
what
mean,
we all
that's what we all
be.
look for.
That's all we all
Yeah.
look for. It's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
When I think that there's a lot of places that you can do this exact job, but it's not for this company. And I think that's my whole goal in my position right now. I love the company. And I
Why
want
is
them.
that? What do they do for you that you love
I
so
think
much?
they are amazing. I have never worked anywhere that I felt more appreciated. I feel like they listen to us. If just like we had a bride that, really wanted neutral colors in the pavilion planters. Everyone did, and it was a thing that kept coming up, and we had just, some cute plants. We have beautiful landscaping, so there's nothing bad to look at on the whole place. But when they hear something that keeps coming up and something that might be not a huge issue, but just a little bother, and they listen to us and they make the corrections when they can. I've never been at a place where my managers or my bosses will ask, what do you think? What do you want to do? What do you think is the right answer here? And that is amazing.
I'm reading this book on tape right now called Captivate, and they said that's like one of the most things missing from a business place is showing appreciation. Like we're always quick to tell people, and especially the workplace, like what they need to do better at, and not like, thank you for doing this. Like, I appreciate what you're doing right now. So that just, that's that's a great thing to have in a business.
Yeah, this is something I think our listeners can connect with, because I always feel really great shopping at a place that takes care of their employees, you know?
Right.
And so there's a culture, you're absolutely right. There's a culture here when you drive on the premises where your vision of the world changes because of the people in this environment. And the weddings we've done here are just flawless. You're absolutely right. When rain happens or something, they need to change. There's like 15 people in white coats jump out and start changing things, and like bam, like our brides keep smiles on their face, and it's just really been incredible. So
I appreciate you.
Also
honey.
think
Okay, great, we love you.
this is family owned, and they pride themselves on that, as they should, because it is like a family. I've never worked somewhere that feels like a family, that I enjoy coming to work every day and knowing that if I even had a personal problem, I can go to our general manager with the problem and not feel uncomfortable about it. And he would hear and understand and try his best to accommodate in any way possible. And I don't think a lot of places have that.
Well, and his door is literally always open. You can ask him, about the big things and the tiny things, and he will give you his honest opinion, and he will listen to yours. And I think that's irreplaceable.
I love it. So tell me a little bit. I meant to ask, maybe just tell us about the history of this place. Why? I don't even know how this happened, because
Right.
it doesn't look
Like, I'm even
I
a
keep
Canton
saying,
person. I don't even.
How
I don't
does
even
something
know.
like this happen?
yeah, how does something
I mean,
like this happen? Like, tell us about like the family and all of this, because I can't even figure out how this works.
It opened in 2008. They started with our bistro, which is our fine dining, and that it was actually just supposed to be like a small charcuterie
Cheese and
type,
crackers.
with where the winery is. And it has continued to grow. Our owner, Ted Swaldo, had a vision when he purchased this property. It's 55 acres. It actually used to be an old Christmas tree farm before Gervasi had purchased it.
Okay, I love this.
And
Jabberwocky Tree Farm.
yes, and that's actually one of our beers is named Jabberwocky after the tree farm.
Is that
So
Star Wars? Jabberwockies?
It close. The Jawas and Wookiees, Beth. Great.
Well,
you were
Is
close.
it Jabberwocky that they're the dance people?
In the MTV show with the
Yeah,
white
the
mask.
white mask.
Yes.
Oh,
And they,
yeah.
do you
Yeah.
remember that show? I don't think it's on anymore.
Do you remember when Shaq? We're really digressing here. I love it. Like Shaq came out for like an all-star game. There are these dudes that wear the white and
Yes.
all like synchronized dance together.
They're very cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
I was totally gonna look this up on YouTube.
Jabberwockies. It's awesome.
Jabberwockies.
Not Star Wars though, but
It's something similar at least.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I
But,
like the Star Wars approach. I'm
Yeah.
a Star Wars fan.
well, our boys were watching it this morning, so
Okay.
naked watching Star Wars on.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like the life right there.
I had a terrible morning then.
Right.
Anything like that.
Right. Maybe we should. No.
Beth,
I'm kidding. I'm
this is
kidding.
an adult. This is a
Sorry.
clean podcast. Okay, listen. I like my mouth is hurting from laughing so
Oh,
much.
the tree farm, honey. Let's get back. I really
Let's
want
get
to
back
hear
to the
this.
Jabberwockies.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so it was a tree farm, Jabberwocky. Then our owner, Ted Swaldo, he actually retired, and before he bought this land and bought it, had a vision, started with the bistro in 2008, and it has only continued to grow. That's actually the original barn on
Was it
property.
2008 or 2009?
I thought it was 8. I'm pretty sure it's 8.
We're not good with numbers, but
Yeah, I'm dyslexic with numbers.
Keep going.
Anyways,
Could be 6.
yeah.
things to say. So they had a vision. They went in, restored the original barn, which is now our bistro fine dining restaurant.
And if you go there, there's still pictures of the old barn near the bathrams. I love to look at those.
And you can actually find them on our website as well. There's a history of it because there was a shooting here. And when was it? It was a long time ago.
Like 1920.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Again,
he was
we're-
like a convict, and I named him
Cool.
Charlie. I think that was the wrong name. It's hard to say. But I always say Charlie's the ghost. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
He died in the barn.
Yeah.
Just to know.
Those are
Is this all a made-up story?
No, this is true. Only like parts of it I don't remember is the problem.
This ghost will not be part of your wedding, folks. Just
No.
very clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a very good listener. We
Yes.
just ask him, like,
Wait, he's friendly. He's a good spirit.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Like Casper.
Yes, like Casper.
Where are we going with this, ladies?
oh,
Way
so
cuter than E.T.
the bistro opened.
Yes.
Then they built the villas. After that, it was the pavilion.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was
Then
next?
the Crush House.
Then Twisted. Then the Still House.
And
So
now Casa.
the Crush House is another food place?
Crush House is where the winery is.
2013 is where, I believe it was 2013 Crush House opened.
Maybe we should just
Don't
not
quote
say
me on those
numbers.
dates.
Yeah, we'll just throw
But-
the numbers out and go with the order.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Yes, so it was Crush House was built and was made a larger facility for the winery because we had outgrown the winery that was located in the bistro.
I see.
And then like one of the restaurants is like more upscale, and then one's
The
more
bistro
casual.
is our fine dining, rustic Italian menu. And so that was one of the first thing that they did here on property. And then they opened the Crush House. It's more just light food, small plates, and they have the winery there. They have a big observation window where you can go and watch them make the wine and see the production. They also have winery tours, so you can go and, learn more about it. And then they have a tasting bar that you can do flights or just taste the wine.
It's
we
a
have
whole
so
new
many.
world.
So the food that's served here is the same food at your wedding.
It's a similar menu created by the same chef. So Jerry Reisner is our executive chef, and he has a hand in creating all of the menus. So they're all trained and by the same people. And,
It's astounding food.
Yeah.
It really is.
It really
Just
is like
can be short ribs.
incredible wedding food.
And they take care of their vendors because we don't even have to, a lot of times you have to fight to get a meal at some of these places, and you guys bring it out and we love it. It's great. Yeah. Well, listen, ladies, we've said so much. This has been incredible. Thank you for joining us today and for letting us come down to this beautiful place. Tell me.
How can a bride and groom?
Absolutely. That's what I was going to ask. How can they find you guys, and who do they need to talk to have their wedding here?
Well, you would contact sales. So you go through our sales department, Steph and Pam. They can help you out. They're awesome. And so you would just dial into the sales number. I think it's
330-497-1000, extension 122.
Wow. This is like a commercial. I love it. Is this like GervasiVineyards.com, Gervasi.com? What is the website?
GervasiVineyard.com.
GervasiVineyard.com. Great. As always, you can find Beth and I at SethAndBeth.com. We talked about a couple podcasts later. We have some exciting news coming in the future with adding video to our brand. And so the video team that we have done weddings here, Kyle and Steve.
Yeah, like all of the footage that you see right now
in the podcast has come from.
Those are people.
Those are our peoples. So so we're excited to move forward with that. Ladies, thank you so much. It's been a blast. I could talk to you gals all day. But this has been a blast, and we can't wait to photograph you again. Love you, Beth.
Love you, honey.
See you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.